Exercise. Working with a challenging protector. This exercise can prove challenging, especially if you're new to IFS work. If that's the case for you, just do your best to get to know the parts that aren't so ready. Take a second and get comfortable, setting up like you would if you were going to meditate. Think of a part of you that really bothers you or gets in your way, one that you have a lot of shame about, or one you might be afraid of. Take a second to think of one. What you're looking for is more of a protective part rather than a real vulnerable one. Some people immediately focus on their inner critics for this exercise, so if you're having trouble finding one, that usually does the job. As you focus on the part, notice where you find it in your body or around your body, and while you focus on that place, notice how you feel toward this part. Because of what you're looking for, you're probably going to have some strained feelings toward it. Place this part of you in a contained room there. That will help other parts of you to drop their weapons and feel a little safer. Make it a comfortable room, but one that it can't get out of, and that you can see through a window. And let all these other parts that have issues with it know that for the duration of the exercise it's going to stay contained. So ask them to relax just a little bit, so you can get to a point of curiosity toward the one in the room. See if they're willing to do that. If they're not willing to separate again, that's okay. You can spend the rest of the time just getting to know them and their fears of this other part, or what issues they have with it. If you can get to a point of curiosity or any kind of openness toward the part that's in the room, then let it know that, and see what it wants you to know while it stays contained. See if you can communicate with it through the window. What does it want you to know about itself? What's it afraid would happen if it stepped out of its role? If it answers that question, then see if it's possible to extend some appreciation to it, for at least trying to protect you, and see how old it thinks you are. If it thinks you're a different age than you actually are, then go ahead and update it. See how it reacts. Now, ask this part of some version of the following question. If you could change or heal what you're protecting so that it wasn't really an issue anymore, and you were freed from this responsibility of protection and could do something else, what would you like to do? That is, if the part were totally liberated from its role, what else would it choose to do? After it answers that question, ask what it needs from you in the future. Then check with your other parts before we stop. Just see how they're reacting as they witness this conversation you had with the protector part. When the time feels right, I invite you to finish up in there, thanking your parts for anything they let happen, letting them know this isn't your last visit. Taking deep breaths again, if that helps, shift your focus back outside.